Surprise. Welcome to the Roxy Files. We're still waiting on Shannon to get here, guys. She was finishing up with a haircut. And I know there was a few of you out there and we were typing. I passed by that earlier. Like, I don't know if it was on X or Facebook or something. Okay, Shannon says she's washing her client's hair out right now. We just gonna see. We're not gonna get on any particular topic. We'll just whatever. But I saw that on X or somewhere. Maybe it was on TikTok. I don't know. I've been kind of blurred out this morning. Sorry for my absence the past few shows. I don't know. The world seemed very heavy for the past week. I'm fine. Nothing in particular going on. No ailments. No nothing like that. Just the world has seemed extremely heavy to me. I got to write something down so I don't forget it for later. Not right now. Anyway, let's see. Hang on. Let me share the screen with you guys. All right, let's see. All right, let's see what this brings up. I seen something on it. There we go. All right, it's been on Facebook, Instagram, The Independent, X. It's been around the world. Let's see. Let's check out the one on X. We'll look at it. Hey, Miss K. Hey, Kent. Hey, Super Sidewinder. I see all of y'all in there. I'm reading the comments while I'm reading the screen. After posting an AI generated image of himself walking beside a handcuffed alien on True Social. Well, we know they don't do anything for no reason. So if he posted this, he posted it to get a stir. And you got what's clearly an alien in a military base and his private security in the handcuffs. So we're supposed to interpret something from that. Let's see. Is he gonna pardon the handcuffed alien? I don't know. Oh, I don't know what that is. But if you go over here to Ingersoll Lockwood, which is one of the ones that I watch. Oh, sorry guys, I was missing the bottom of chat there. There we go. Well, so y'all can see the screen. I'll wait to put that up. That way that's full size. If you go down here to the very bottom, I got to zoom in slow or else I'll lose it. You can see it is the Hanabu UFO craft, which is World War II. The Hanabu. Think Roswell, New Mexico. This was technology that the little short man with the mustache had way back then. And you see a bee driving it with goggles and a helmet, which the goggles and the helmet tell you it's military. And now if you click on said bee, it takes you to Donald Trump is the Beekeeper, produced by Ingersoll Lockwood Studios. The swamp fears him, America needs him. And it shows him with said craft floating over his hand as though this is a movie poster. Let me zoom out so you can see it's like a movie poster. So then I went and watched the Beekeeper movie, which actually has Jason Statham in it. And it's a very interesting story. I'm not going to discuss what's in the story. Go watch it. It's out on some of the stuff for, with your regular Prime membership or whatever. It's better if you watch it. That way I don't influence your opinion of anything. And then it's also got the link for the movie The Book of Atlas, which you have to pay for you have to buy your ticket online. It's like a digital token system. And then the Rainsaber books. I've read a couple of those. It's actually good writing, but there's a lot of information in them too. A lot of the stuff that we've looked for is in that book, and it gives you like another little piece of the puzzle, especially a lot of stuff about some of the rainforest and cold places and stuff like that. Has anything else caught anybody's eye? We're just kind of killing time till Shannon gets here. Uh, as y'all can see, I am on Disciples of Jesus, Human Vessels, the show Supernatural, and then whatever we're looking up. But let's see. Let's go to X. Let's see if we see anything interesting over there. The thing I have found very interesting is that ever since Sunday, I think it was, there has been some type of broadcast of prayer or worship. Trying to be real careful about this. The previous day there were mass riots. No, and I say it wasn't a riot, it was a march. It was a very peaceful protest about the citizens over there in the UK. They want immigration to do something about the fact that they're being overrun by illegal aliens who are trampling on their culture and killing their society. It was a very peaceful march. They just all marched into town that day. And then the next day, the stuff started in Washington. Everything happens for a reason. War.gov/UFO. That's where all the disclosure is at, if anybody doesn't know. That's the website address for all of the alien disclosure, which I have not gone through. I have looked at a piece or two in it, and it is stuff I had already seen before. And then, like I said, the world got real heavy for some reason. So I observed that heavy, and I have dealt with that heavy as best I can. But yeah, I've this stuff right here. Just give it a minute. It's like the Satan's hemorrhoid files that we looked into. I just backed off and gave it a minute because if you give some others some time to dig in before you do, they'll point you in the right direction. Then you can go in and look for yourself so you understand better. Watch other people dig in, and then you'll see their patterns of what they're looking for and how they're looking for it. Because there's a lot of people out there that, they just get online and go through the files, and you can see how they're doing it, and they generally have shortcuts. Anyway, let's see what else is on X. How is the weather where everybody's at? It is dry here. Like the pond in the front yard, the water's way down. See, my ADD almost kicked in and I started watching whatever she's making with that mop. ADD is killer sometimes. President Trump announces DOJ investigation into 500,000 illegal mail-in ballots sent out by the blue state of Maryland. I'm just looking. Let's look. I tell you what we can look at, because I was curious about this earlier. If I could spell. Too much puff past, guys. I'm having spelling issues. I was in the greenhouse. It's 89 degrees there, Miss K. Let's see what the temperature is here. Well, where is that gadget at? I know, I don't want maps. See, I don't even know where the gadget is on my phone that tells me what the temperature is. But that's about what it feels like here. I mean, it don't feel bad outside, not sitting in direct sunlight. If you just sitting there, you probably get burned up, get a little sweaty. But it's dry. Like the pond I have that little pond in my front yard. That thing's probably down 2 foot. Like you can see the bottom of the pond. If there's any fish in there, which I don't think there's a lot. If so, they're teeny tiny because there's no irrigation in it. But they gonna be mud plopping before long. We don't get some rain. We got to have some rain around here. Okay, I wanted to look at the executive orders because I know there have been a few things. Oh, why is my computer stuttering? I must have too much open. Okay, this is executive orders and the date signed. No, I want them in sequential order. Oh. I saw something and I wanted to check up on it and see if I could actually, because anymore, you don't know, anytime you're looking at anything that you see online, if you're not, well, you can't even look at live TV anymore and know if it's AI generated or if it's truth. And I was trying to find the sequential order of executive orders and see if I could find that one. Because, you never know whether it's real or not. No, there's some sanctions on repression in Cuba. IRA.gov. Federal contracting, medical treatments, college sports, ID for elections, getting rid of DEI, reviewing FEMA. I don't know. I'm not seeing what I was looking for there, guys. I saw something about, I don't know. Let's see if I can search it. And it was probably AI. Something else about sovereign wealth fund. And it's tied to that U.S. debt clock, but I didn't know if it was fake or not. But we can look it up. We can look it up. Shannon ought to be rolling up on us anytime now. Oh, see? Look, I didn't even have to spell it. I'm telling you, I can't spell today. Sovereign Wealth Fund. State-owned investment fund that invests in real and financial assets such as stocks. Okay, let's look it up. I've heard of it. I don't know the details of what it is, but we're going to look it up together and learn. So we're going to learn something while we're waiting on Girly Girl. Let's see. Diverse group of sovereign wealth funds from every inhabited continent. They have varied economic roles and mandates. International Forum of Sovereign Wealth Funds. A sovereign wealth fund is owned by the general government, which includes central and subnational, includes investments in foreign financial assets. They invest for financial objectives. Public pension funds are ultimately owned. Central Bank Reserve. Hey, Big E, how are you today? Glad to see you in the room. We are just sitting here lollygagging and chatting and talking about what everybody's seen or has piqued their interest. Shannon was finishing up a client, and I'm a few minutes early. So I'm just researching some things, sitting here running my mouth. How is your day going today, sir? Sir? I don't know. This right here looks like a sovereign. I don't know. I'd have to find out some more information. I know this is not the one. I just clicked on it to see what that website said. Okay, here we go. There's a White House page on it. See, I knew something had gone on with it. Long-term financial health. Maximize stewardship of national wealth for sole benefit of citizens. In the interest of the American people, that the federal government establish a sovereign wealth fund to promote fiscal sustainability, lessen the burden of taxes on American families and small businesses, establish economic security for future generations, and promote U.S. economic and strategic leadership internationally. See, this is February 3rd. And this is old. So, what's the status? Is that what the U.S. debt clock is? Is that. Okay. The U.S. debt clock. See, we've seen this before. We've all looked at it because there's little secret windows and stuff to click on. We went through it a good bit on Daniel's show. Oh, I'm sorry, Big E. Here you go. Puff, puff, pass. It's your turn. I puffed before I come in. That's why I can't spell. My ADD is kicking. Sometimes some of them cause my ADD to kind of work on me. Anyway, this came out, and I want to say it was about a year and a half ago that we started looking at it on Daniel's show. Well, I was trying to get it so you guys could see good. We'll move it around. Like, as you put the mouse, I'm starting up here in the top left where it says U.S. national debt, and you're watching that bad boy clock off like a gas pump lately. Does that not look like what the dang gas pump looks like when you go to get it now? Hey, Wayne the Pain, how are you? I'm telling you, I got gas yesterday, and it looked like the U.S. national debt calculator. But anyway, when you put your mouse over each part, it gives you a up at the top. See it change up there? It kind of gives you a definition or description of what you're looking at. And you got a time machine where you can go backwards or forwards. You can look at the world. You can look at states. There's a secret window over here, which I don't know where it takes you now. Imagine a world with 100% asset-backed, debt-free money. All right, when you click over here, you download the free ebook. We've been through the ebook a couple of times. We've been there. But when you come down here, this is what it says: a U.S. Treasury of 100% asset-backed dollars, the sovereign wealth reserve, is. And its wealth per citizen at $622,511. Total cartel asset forfeiture liability. That's a new one. I ain't seen that one over there before. I don't know what that is. What that? U.S. total. No, that's healthcare. I got to size the screen down, guys. Let's see. The minimum total of unfunded accrued interest charged to the U.S. Treasury in a criminal conspiracy by the Federal Reserve Banking Syndicate. Do what? Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm glad to see you guys too. Oh, see there? Look, when I move my mouse and I go to the screen print, escape. It won't work. It won't do what I want it to do. Because as soon as I move the mouse from here, it goes. Let's click on it. It don't do nothing when I click on it. Okay. Source: Federal Reserves. Adjusted to inflation, real-time running total. Oh, so that's what they would owe the citizens. Oh, okay. But anyway, there's all kind of stuff on here if you've never looked at this. This is not a government. I don't know who's running this. But it was very interesting. They do have an app that you can download, but it ain't free. Just saying, it ain't free. But I don't know. There's always interesting stuff on here. But the Ingersoll Lockwood page will point you to this. It's a link in one of those hidden links, which I didn't even think to show you a while ago when I was over there. I'm going to have to come back to this. I got to make a side note on that. Oh, I'm sorry, Kent. Puff, puff, pass. My bad. My bad, brother. Give me a minute. Let's see. We've got all the usual links that are within the letters of the world. See it change from an arrow to a hand right there in the middle of the screen. Space Force, ET, See, when you mouse over each one, you can actually look in the bottom left-hand side of your screen, I think, and it'll show you what it goes to. You just can't see it on mine because of screen share. When you go to midterm elections, you end up at a White House page, and it's telling you to go get registered to vote. When you, blam, went full screen. There's a little UFO there. When you click on that, it takes you to aliens.gov, which doesn't work yet, but the U.S. government owns it. And then there is, well, come on. Ooh, worldwide is new, ain't it? Web archive, no, that's not new. Thorium dominance is forthcoming. That's a new one. Okay. I ain't been on there in a minute, y'all. My bad. My bad. I told y'all the world was too heavy. I didn't have. Thank you, Kent, for passing it back, brother. I don't even know what I done with my vape. Man, what in the world? I'm telling you, I'm all out of sorts. Why China is building a thorium molten salt reactor. Thorium has returned to the front lines of nuclear power research as a source of fuel. China plans to start building a demonstration thorium-based molten salt reactor in the Gobi Desert. 10-megawatt reactor project scheduled to be operational by 2030, according to environmental impact reports. Okay. Everybody see that? We're aware of that now. It's on the list. It's on the list of 9,721 other things I need to look at. Hey, Diana. Oh, God, y'all. I ordered bracelets from Diana, and I got them from me and my mom, and they are fantastic. Oh, I just realized I took a shower a while ago, and I took mine off. Diana, should I be wearing that in the shower or taking it off? Because I don't want to take it off. It's pretty, y'all. I'll have to get my pictures sent from my phone to here so I can show them to you. What is this one? The potential of thorium for safer, cleaner, cheaper energy. Nuclear energy through thorium. Okay. Got that. That takes you to alien.gov. These are all prayers. And you'll notice that the link takes you to justice.gov/Epstein. If I'm not mistaken, all those prayers we're looking at here. Okay. Now I gotta know. Our faith is clear. Protect the children. The American people deserve full transparency, equal justice, and lawful accountability, no matter who is involved. Justice must be pursued peacefully, constitutionally, and without fear of favoritism. Oh, stop. And that takes us to the Book of Atlas, which I was telling you about. You have to buy your ticket online and watch it. In the beginning of a change, the patriot is a scarce man and brave and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. What is the human adenovirus, and could it be bioengineered? The looking glass is a mirror, so in reverse. I don't think any of those are new links because we've been to quite a few of them on here. That's a couple of new spots I hadn't seen. Like I said, I hadn't been. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Slow down, though. Slow down. Take it off in the shower. That's what I did earlier. I didn't want to get it wet, but I love it. It does not. I love cuff bracelets, Diana, and when I put that one on, I have a very bony wrist, and that one doesn't hurt. I can adjust it just perfectly so that it doesn't hit the bones on my wrist and hurt them. And I slept in it last night. So, like, the more I wear it, the more molded it kind of becomes to the shape of my arm. It's cool. I love it. I'll have to post pictures of it. I've just been a little in my feelings a few days, y'all. I ain't been myself. But I'm here. Okay, my next question becomes, where are the largest thorium deposits in the world? Not lithium, thorium. Okay. Okay, if they're making a thorium push, well, look at there. We're number 4 on the list. We're the exact same thing as Australia and only 100,000 tons from Brazil. Vein deposits of rare earth minerals. Mountain Pass Mine in California and Lemmy Pass in Idaho. Okay. Do you know which countries have the largest share of thorium? For an infographic, y'all check this out. Y'all getting like displays and pictures and all kind of stuff today waiting on Shannon. Whew, I'm rocking it. Hang on, y'all. This ain't a zoomable map. It's just showing us India has an abundance of thorium reserves along its eastern coast. All right, so we got our own. Okay, so where are in America? I think I looked at this on the geology thing one time. Idaho, Montana, Colorado. Fantastic. Florida and South Carolina. Look at there, Big E. They knocking on our door again. While boasting the largest total, Florida and South Carolina, while boasting the largest total amount of reserves, the concentration is low. Thorium is found in beach placers and is primarily low grade byproduct. Located in, all right, number 1 is Idaho, Montana. Beaverhead Mountains. This is the largest known concentration of thorium and rare earths elements in the U.S. Spans over 200 mapped quartz hematite veins containing the mineral thorite. The area is actively being evaluated to build a domestic supply chain for thorium-based nuclear fuels. It features barite sulfide veins and thorium dioxide of rare earths in Colorado. Oh. Okay. So, now that we know that, let's look up in the word disaster. Let's see if it just happens to be somewhere that some freak storm has come through. Let's see. Highly susceptible to washouts and mudslides. Closes during the winter. 2020, they had Bear Creek wildfire. Lightning. It burned over 10,000 acres in Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest. Well, look at here. Let's see. The Lemmy Pass in Idaho is where Lewis and Clark crossed over the Continental Divide. It's marked. Wait a minute. Continental Divide. Sorry, y'all. I write down keywords that catch my attention. it may be traumatic for y'all to see how my brain works. You see how we started out 9 subjects ago and I'm still chasing? Sorry if I get quiet. I figured Shannon would be in here by now. We were going to talk with you guys about burying the truth, time capsules for future generations. Because one thing we have to think about, we are the people writing down current events or recording them. If those are preserved properly, they will be the tale of history in the future. So we have to make sure we're preserving that. Um, let's see. Ooh, we have a text. Let's see who the text is from. Lithium dragonspire deposits in dragon's belly. See, ain't it? Blooming hurricane swept all up through them mountains where that lithium is sitting up underground, just torturing them people for no reason, just because they want to get rich and they can manipulate the weather. Monsters. I don't care if AI is listening, Diana. Let them bite my lily white rear end. Because y'all want to know by now, I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm not code wording it no more. I'm trying to be careful, but I'm not. Because we are the people, our generation, Generation X, we are the ones that are recording the truth. If somebody doesn't record the truth, everything in the future will be manipulated into a lie. Because now we see how much they buried the truth of the past. Like, so much of it has been buried or lied about, and it's all been for control. Every bit of it has been for control, evil control, to turn us into hamsters on a wheel. So the fat cat, black-eyed demon, gator skins, vampire, pedophile. Anyway, they all kind of monsters. It's not just one monster. There's multiple. There's multiple kinds of monsters. And the more you go back and you read the Bible and you figure out the parts that they left out of the Bible were when King James and them edited these Bibles throughout time, and not just him, there were people before him that did it as well. I mean, when they put the Bible together in Nicaea, it was edited for control. It was all edited for control of money and power. And the people that do that are evil. Because if you believe in our Father in heaven, nobody needs power over you. You are your own, you and him, and you got a communion, a union that, like, nobody needs to have the kind of power or cruelty to just keep animals running on a treadmill. And I know a lot of people are feeling like that in life, and we're watching the gas pumps climb, and we're watching the price of groceries climb. Like, it's getting expensive out there. Like, you roll out the yard anymore. Thank you, Kent. Maybe I need to puff up. I wish I knew where my vape was. Anyway, I didn't start with a drink either. Not a alcohol, a drink. My mouth's dry. I didn't bring a drink down. My studio's downstairs, the refrigerator's upstairs. 2 flights of stairs is more work than I need at the moment. But if we don't record history correctly in some shape, form, or fashion and put it on paper, I'm not talking about, yes, these recordings are fantastic. Maybe they'll be found someday, but they can be instantly edited by artificial means. Like, I've watched them literally edit a sitcom from one show to the next. Like, one rerun to the next time. Like, he said 2 different things. 2 different things. And same show. And this is a show from when I was a kid. Like, dude ain't went back and refilmed him. It's all being manipulated. Anything you read online can be manipulated and changed instantaneously. You can't take any one source of information and run with it. You need to verify it multiple times through multiple sources and make sure you got good sources that you're looking at and don't just be looking at anybody's stuff. Because those people out there that are paid opposition, I mean, they knew that the final war would be this spiritual warfare that we're in would be electronic, because we have all gotten to the point that we sit with one of these devices around us, whether it be a cell phone, a laptop, a desktop computer, a television, a radio, wherever you're getting your information from. They can take and twist and sway and manipulate that any way they want to. If you're loud enough, they'll try to insert people into your inner circle. So be careful who you trust. Because if your gut's off, your gut's normally right. And I was looking at some neuroscience stuff the other day, and it was talking about that gut instinct. You know how you like, oh, I felt that in my gut. When you're in a room full of people and somebody walks in and you don't really know them, and you just instantaneously get that, oof, like something ain't right about that person, or, that you don't mesh with that person. And you say you feel it in your gut. But what you don't realize is when you pick up on this, okay, your skin is a sensor. Your eyes are sensors. Your taste buds, your smell, your hearing, your hair, your skin. It's all sensors. And it picks up on energy and vibration and fluctuations and mood and chemicals in other people's body. So when somebody walks in, if they're of low vibration, your body may pick it up and send you like a safety alert to be aware of it. Well, the first thing it does is it causes your intestines to contract, like micro contractions. That's why you feel it in your gut. It's not just a term, it's an actual meaning. And there's another thing that we're going to talk about. Shannon and I are looking into it, and it kind of ties into the Stargate, brain mapping, Oshmama's Brain Institute, but it's called Project Blue Brain, and it was conducted overseas, and it was for the mapping of the human brain and what each and every single emotional reaction caused to fire in your brain. They've been doing this for years so that they could manipulate us through serotonin and dopamine, oxytocin. Like, there are different chemicals in your body that are set off when particular things happen. Okay, if you're next to your person, your partner, your spouse, whatever, your body automatically, most times, will release oxytocin is the love chemical that you have. Sometimes women, okay, oxytocin is the chemical that makes you like bond or pair, fall in love, whatever you want to call it, with your person. Women normally produce this chemical oxytocin after wrestling. And we just going to leave it at wrestling. We all know what I'm talking about. Men, however, do not after that. I don't care if you cuddle, it ain't happening. Would you like to know when men produce this chemical? After an argument. Yes. When men and women have an argument, and I'm not talking about a big one, I'm talking about, just a small one, a disagreement. A lot of times the natural inhabitant of two animals, whether they be human or not, if they have a disagreement and they make up, he is then filled with oxytocin, which makes him all lovey-dovey. And then they go wrestling, and then she's all lovey-dovey, and everything's all good again. There are a lot of people out there that think if you have an argument, you got to wrestle to anyway, it's an oxytocin release. Yes, it's energetic levels, like all the energy around you, which is now being manipulated by Wi-Fi boxes and cell phone towers and televisions and everything else. But your body is one big sensor for all of this energy. All of this energy and frequency around you is called the ether. And this is what Nikola Tesla was playing with. That you didn't need a power substation, it was all around you. That's why all these houses, big houses and buildings had all those spires and copper things on top of them. That's how they got their electricity. Them was old school power lines when you didn't need power lines. We weren't hiding technology from our citizens. We weren't we weren't making our citizens sick so we could feed them medicines to make them sicker. Like, okay, cathedrals, those were hospitals. And at one point hospitals had sunrooms. Like they literally would take the patients out on a sun deck and let them sit in the sun. And I've noticed this over the past couple of months. I've been sitting on my porch a right good bit. I still have a tendency to sit in a chair, so the front side of me is getting a little tanner than the back. I like being outdoors. And I have noticed that, like, my skin looks younger. I'm not sitting right in direct sunlight tanning. Like, I'll get up and go in the house, start a load of clothes, whatever, and I'll come back and sit down out there and take a break or might watch a podcast or something. But the it's helping my skin. It's not hurting it. They wanted you to put, and this is a sidetrack, this is a squirrel, but they wanted you to put sunscreen on your skin because it's full of chemicals. And then when you heat it up with the sun, you're just activating it. It's like, they put cancer in a balm stick or a spray bottle and tell you to put it on. Don't wear sunglasses. If you were out in the sunshine and you're going to be there for an extended period of time, laying on the beach, laying by your pool, whatever, don't wear sunglasses. The lenses in sunglasses block out particular rays. Your eyes are sensors. Your eyes are what understands how many of those rays your skin has taken. Your brain knows how much of that it can take before it needs to send the alert system on and to send the melatonin. So if you're blocking the rays from your eyes and your eyes doesn't have an accurate measurement, this is why you get sunburnt. The human body is an amazing system from start to end. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about neuroscience. Okay, neuroscience. I'm on odd facts today, y'all, because we're just kind of waiting on Shannon, and I don't want to blow what we were going to talk about without her because it's a really cool subject. But neuroscience, in part of this brain mapping, they figured out that the part of your brain that lights up when you have anxiety, when you're anxious, when you're getting, like, as the anxiety's building, the part of your brain that lights up when you're thinking about it is the exact same thing that lights up in your brain when you are grateful. So the next time you feel yourself getting anxious, or like if you don't like going to family functions and you got to go, instead of sitting there worrying about it and getting anxious, start repeating what you're grateful for. Everything, anything. And you will watch the anxiety melt away. Why would they tell you that if they could prescribe you Xanax? They're not going to tell you that. And they've known this for years. This Project Blue Brain, they have been mapping the human brain for years to figure out how to hack it. Like, instead of being anxious, just start being grateful. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my shoes. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for the food I have, for the food I ate yesterday and the day before. I'm grateful for my friends. And just keep going on and on and on. It you will shut the anxiety off. The brain can't do the brain can only use that section to do one thing at a time. So it's either or. You're either anxious or you're grateful. So just start being grateful. I don't care if you're grateful because the grass is green. But when you say I am grateful, your brain automatically switches off the anxiety. You can do that with all of your emotions. If you just learn how. And they've known all of this and they've been hiding this from us because they didn't want us to have the power to not be manipulated by their big machine. When I first started on the show with Daniel, I had this idea about music services, and it didn't matter which one it was, it's irrelevant. But you know how when a new artist comes out, and we know a lot of these artists are playing for the wrong team, but when their music comes out, it gets pushed and pushed and pushed. And it's not just for the mighty dollar. But if you took, because now everybody subscribed up for a music service because you don't want commercials. So we're going to say you got ABC Music Service and you have a membership, and I do. I have one on YouTube. So I don't have commercials. And you save songs that you like, or there are songs being pushed at you. You know, like you have a favorite playlist or suggested playlist, whatever it is. If they can take each person's music or take all music and color code it by the emotion that song tries to invoke, whether it be sad, happy, angry, whatever, you color code each song with that emotion. So you can take a look at what the country's emotional color is at any given time by just looking at different music services. If you're the one that owns that membership information for all your members. 10 minutes. Okay, Shannon. I'm just running my mouth waiting on you, boo boo. But they have that information at the touch of their finger. And you know, if I've thought of it, you know they thought of it a long time ago. Because I was just sitting here one day thinking about how you could shift a good majority of a population's emotional state just by pushing particular color coded music at them. How long have they been doing that on the radio? Because you know, once these radio shows got from being independent, um, they were given playlists, and then it became digital. So now, like, the DJs don't even have like real control over the music. It's just a program. Programming. Everybody hear that word? Program. Anyway, we'll leave that right there. We can take thorium off the screen. Sorry, guys. See, my mouse got to running, and there we went all sideways. But we have to write this stuff down. We have to make a hard copy of it because digital ain't going to cut it. Digital records of our current state of affairs, as best we can prove the truth to be, needs to be written down and saved, preserved for future generations. Because, and you saw one of my screens a while ago, I've been studying the disciples. I wanted to look into each disciple. Yes, squirrel. See, I get squirreled a lot when I'm by myself. See, Shannon helps keep me on track. But I wanted to look into the disciples and like their past. Subliminal messages or frequencies being implanted in real time on music. Oh, I know they are. I know they are. I used to listen, and we'll get back to the disciples. I used to listen to a guy on YouTube, Michael Seeley. He does like this talk down, to go to sleep. And when I'd been married for 27 years, it's kind of hard after 27 years of sleeping next to somebody, all of a sudden just bam, you're sleeping in a big old bed by yourself. I couldn't sleep. So I found this like sleep hypnosis thing, and he'd walk you through it. And it was like you were walking downstairs, and bam, it worked every night. I went right to sleep. And then I started figuring out, I've actually found quite a few songs like this now. If I listen beyond the music, if that makes sense, there's a song I can actually, several songs, I can actually hear Morse code within them. And I don't have the talent or ability to strip all that audio out, nor the care to do it, because I know it's there. I don't need to know what it says. But they have been tinkering with that since before, I think it was right after World War II. They actually changed the frequency that music was to be recorded in. We talked about that on one show, I think. Shannon had quite a bit of knowledge about it. But let's see. Yeah, they can alter everything. If you think of everything in your body, 1953. Everything in your body is molecular. Molecules vibrate. Vibration causes frequency. So everything in your body has a frequency. A, B, C, D. If you think of the majority of your body is made up of water, you've seen what water does when you put it on top of a speaker and you vibrate it. Those ripple effects. And I said that for a reason, to remind myself of something. But oh yeah, 8D audio is something else. You could, yeah. In my mind, the 8D audio makes it seem like, to me, with the right headphones on, like somebody's on roller skates, like skating around and around me as they're, I don't know, it's wild. I can actually close my eyes, and instead of seeing somebody roller skate, it's like a light, and I can watch that light rotate around my head with the music. It's wild. Try it, Biggie. I know you can do it. Um, yeah, they switched it from 432 to 440. But that's on purpose. It was on purpose that it was a, let's see. It claims that the 440 hertz standard was simply driven by recording industries and practical acoustics. Some listeners feel that the 432 sounds warmer and 440 is brighter. The exception and enjoyment of the music remain entirely subjective. And unless you've got some way to measure it, it's hard to know, even if you tried to download some 432, if it's 432. So if you really want to know what, you'd have to get something to generate that frequency for yourself. Because it's, can't trust anything. Just saying. But I listened to the Michael Seeley a lot. And then I was listening for a long time. I switched over to listen to rain, water, ocean, because the water sound was soothing. And yeah, I'm okay sleeping by myself now. I like it dead silent, pitch black dark, mirrors are covered, the door is shut to block the Wi-Fi signal, phone's in the floor. So yeah, I take a few more precautions when I go to sleep now, and I sleep all night. I don't wake up at 3 a.m. anymore. I'm not having night sweats. Nightmares have been minimal. I don't I don't remember what I dream most of the time, but I've had a few that were not pleasant at all. I still haven't figured them out. Anyway, they changed it in 53. Shannon, my love, where are you, my dear? Let's see, decoding music. I'm trying to go back to the comments. Yes, they will tailor. And see, that's something that got me. Willie and I, a while back, noticed something. This was probably Thanksgiving last year, maybe Christmas, somewhere in that time. Um, we were in the shop, and I had come across this artist, which you can clearly tell is AI music, but the song, it might have been January, end of January, when I ran across this. I don't know, somewhere in there. The song felt like it had been pulled out of my brain and put into a song. And it wasn't just one song on this album, because I liked that song so much. Then I went to look at others, and it was like somebody had been writing my thoughts down on paper and made songs out of them. And day or two went by, and I talked to Willie, and Willie's like, "You got to listen to this song." He's like, "I come across this, and I know it's AI." He said, "But I'm telling you, it felt like somebody pulled it out of my head and wrote it down," and my jaw dropped. And like everything on the album sounded like just about like Willie had wrote it, and the other one like I had wrote it, and it was crazy. I mean, like there was stuff in those songs that I just felt strange that anybody else would put in a song that meant to me what it would mean to somebody, because it was, I don't know, it was odd. Yeah, I don't normally remember what I dream either, unless it's Mall World once in a while, and then once in a while I have this nightmare. We'll say. I don't know. That one is. It's like I'm floating above this city that used to be, and it's like the whole city is in rubble, and there's these two red like smokestacks sticking up out of it. That's it. But it's like I'm hovering above it, and I'm not in a helicopter nor no aeroplane. It's me. I'm like Superman flying above this rubble, but I'm just hovering there, and in the distance I see these two red like smokestacks from a big plant or something. I don't know, a manufacturing plant. Mm-hmm. Cymatics are cool. I love to watch the ones where they do it with the bubbles and the sound, and then within the bubble, you can see the geometry. Stolen truck. What about stolen truck? What did I say about stolen truck? See, I didn't puff pass. It's somebody else's turn now. Puff pass. I done that too much because I done forgot what I said. See, this is just off the hip. Me running my mouth. Y'all understand I could do this all day, right? Like, what you want to know about? Random subject. Here we go. Squirrel. I've always said that my brain felt to me like there were filing cabinets with drawers. And Willie has made the same comment. Stargate, gifted and talented, soar, tag. There's this chick, puff pass, Diana. And she was actually Henry Kissinger's mind slave. And I think it's Bryce Taylor's her name. Shannon sent it to me yesterday. It's a book. Um, it talks about a woman who was basically hypnotized into being Henry Kissinger's personal brain file cabinet with secret files hidden in there that only he could access with trigger words. That sound familiar, anybody? Just saying. I mean, like, anybody else feel like their brain is a filing cabinet that was in the gifted program? Take care. I do. If I actually remember them, or I especially if I feel like there was some kind of emotion felt from it, I pay attention. Yeah, like Diana, like if there's something you haven't thought about it or looked into it in a while, but you know it, it's like, hang on, give me a second. And you have to go reach and grab it. Like I've seen Willie mentally do it like on his face. And this woman even draws a picture in this book, which was written in the, I guess, 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't know. Um, and what she drew was a circular row of filing cabinets, and then it showed all these little filing cabinets, and then in the middle it showed these big folders with like secret files. Evidently, she couldn't even access the information that was in them to begin with. Don't know, haven't read the book yet, but I'm very intrigued because now I'm wondering when we was in there in the elementary school and they was dosing us with that little pink drink, which is like the blinky light off of Men in Black. If you know, you know. Um, what they install? Is Mall World the map to get in there? Is it hidden somewhere in Mall World? Oh, and David Greer, whatever his name is, he coming. Oh, UFO man. He was on the Sean Ryan show, I think, and was talking about how the gifted and talented, or the not gifted and talented, that Stargate was just the beginning of them trying to, and maybe he said gifted and talented as well. They were just trying to, um, they were looking for super soldiers. Like the first thing I ever got online on my own channel and said was that that's what I thought that place was. That they were just trying to pick out which one of us wasn't neurotypical that they could turn into super soldiers. David Greer, yeah. Uh, reading the comments. Different compartments. File, yeah. Yeah, David Greer. He was on there saying that. And we've talked about it on here before that that's what we thought it was. It was like some kind of Harry Potter sorting hat. Um, I'm not sure what they were doing. I know most of us don't remember it, which is kind of scary. Sometimes not sure we probably want to remember it. But I know there's more of us now, and none of us really know each other. We're all over the country, and we all got the same story. It's all like very similar. There are a lot of people that have been to Mall World. I've been to Mall World. So anybody that tells me they've been to Mall World, I don't doubt they've been to Mall World. Because going to Mall World is an experience. It if you've been, you've been. But I think that was, I think Shannon and I think that was possibly like a training ground where they were teaching us how to maneuver in whatever that space was. Um, I know they were looking for psychic warriors that could astral project, that had super pattern recognition, that may have had powers of telekinesis or telepathy or pyrokinesis. Just imagine that all this stuff that they took out the Bible that showed you that stuff was supernatural is really real. So then you go back and you watch some of these science fictions movie you watch and you go like, well, how much of that is real? You been to Mall World, Dana? Diana. Shannon's been, I've been. We've got a couple of viewers that have been. And we actually tried to hook up and connect in there for a minute, but we couldn't seem to find each other. I kept seeing this person, but I couldn't tell who he was. And it was like I couldn't speak to him. It was like he was there and I was there, kind of like the NPC thing. I've been to the bathrooms, which terrify me. The bathrooms absolutely terrify me because they're nasty. And my OCD, it took me forever. Mm. I've been to the food court, and I've been to some kind of like t-shirt shop area. It was like vintage 70s, 80s rock band kind of grungy beachwear t-shirt place. I don't know. And but I usually end up just kind of standing there in the food court, like looking around at everything in amazement. I'm like taking it in and mapping it out. And I've been in the parking lot and I couldn't get out the car. I didn't understand that. And I couldn't tell you what kind of car I was driving. I just know that the parking lot was completely empty and I could see all of Mall World, the roller coaster, the beach, the mall, everything. But I could not get out the car. It was like I had no control of, for better sake, the avatar that I was in. I couldn't get my character to move. I like where you're muted. Yeah. That was a frustrating dream. And see, those are the ones that I tend to remember. The ones that seem to have like some kind of emotional, when I wake up, I feel some kind of way. Like it has emotionally affected me. And I don't, waking up in this emotional state is new for me. I'm not normally an extremely emotional person. I'm not a big crier. Like, I'm not going to sit around and cry. My grandma rub some dirt on it. We got stuff to do. And she didn't mean it in a hard way, but she would tell me, you can't sit around moping forever. Whatever you're grieving, it's going to get better. It always does. Head up. We got stuff to do. Rub some dirt on it. And she made me tough. But once in a while, when you just haven't let it out, it just all kind of at one time. And waking up in like this emotional state is not good when you're in that mind frame. But yeah, the rubble dream with the two red smokestacks, I've had that one a couple of times and it was identical every time I had it. And it's not like this long dream. To me, it only seems like I'm there for, a few seconds and you get a picture and you're just kind of looking around and you can see the coastline and all the flat buildings and the two stacks, and then it's kind of like, bam, you're awake or zapped out or whatever it is. But yeah, Shannon and I are looking into this Project Blue Brain. I think it evidently happened over in Switzerland. That way it wasn't up under particular laws. So, then I get curious, what else have y'all been doing in Switzerland over there? They're supposed to be neutral territory. Y'all over there running brain projects. I mean, everything we do that is any kind of way electronically manipulated can be manipulated against us. Even the air waves that you're sitting in because of all these towers and Wi-Fi boxes. We want communication, we want connection. We want to be able to reach each other like this, and the price you pay is for towers and Wi-Fi boxes. So I don't know how I think there's better ways to solve the connectivity problem than Wi-Fi. I think we need to at least go back to hardline in the homes. I don't think the Wi-Fi is a good thing. I understand it works in places that nothing else will, but I don't know. I think we should go back to hardline. Well, I don't know what happened to Shannon, guys. She has just gone AOL on us here, or AWL, whatever it is, AWOL. Let me text her. Because y'all probably about tired of hearing my mouth. I mean, we can talk about anything you want to. Shannon and I are currently watching. I text her. We'll see what she says. We're both kind of watching the Supernatural show. I don't know if y'all have ever seen it. No, I'm not talking about Daniels. I'm talking about the TV series. I watched this show over and over and over back in the day because there's like 15 seasons of it. It's one of those that you can just kind of get in, and when you ain't got nothing else to watch, you can turn it on. It's the same, it's a storyline, but each episode has its own literal monster to fight. Well, I had seen this thing quite a few times because I used to own the DVDs. I loved this show. And I was telling Shannon about it and like some of the monsters in it, and we were looking at who wrote it and who was behind it and how many similarities I could find between the show. Hey, Mike, look, I'm talking about Supernatural, and Mike come rolling in the room. It is so good to see you, buddy. We've been worried about you. Mike's wife watched this Supernatural show, and y'all, I don't think this is just a television show. I'm now on season 5, episode 2 or 3, and the more I watch this now with a different set of eyes, the more I see this of a grimoire. In instruction, I don't know why all that crap's popping up over there on the side. Let's shut some windows and see if that helps. I know where I was at there. But there, it has its own Wikipedia. Like, you can look up, there's community pages, discussion boards, interactive maps, the characters, the cast, by season, and whatever this other media is. There was like other seasons of the show that come out. There's angels, there's demons, there's you name it. Uh-oh, Shannon had a issue. Hang on, guys, I'm texting her. I don't want her to be in a hurry with her client. She can take her time. If you're listening, girl, take your time. We all right. Let's see. Yeah, your wife likes Supernatural. I thought she did, Mike. Robot. And, sir, you are blocked. We block robots. Fandom. Yeah, this is the fandom.com wiki for this, but it lists all the characters. And it's a really unique storyline, but you've got two brothers who are basically monster hunters, and they're hunting werewolves and demons and vampires. Here we go. Creatures, angels, demons, deities, ghosts, the four horsemen, Leviathan, shapeshifters, vampires, werewolves. Does any of that sound familiar, y'all? Just saying, by chance. I'm going to give you a second. Like, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, just playing. But, yeah, sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? And it shows you within these the power structure and how it works, and like who's in charge of who, and who the biggest monster is, and how these monsters are ended. Like each one has particular things. And in this show, there is also a good bit of sigil magic that you see on screen. And there's a whole lot of stuff with that Star of David in it. Yeah, it's like when you first, okay, Diana, if you've not watched it before and you're going to start watching it, this thing ran from 2005 to 2020. There were 15 seasons, I think it is, of this show. There was comic book series. There have been side shows that spun off of it that didn't do good. It's after you've watched these two brothers, Sam and Dean, which is Jason Paldecki and how did I forget Dean's name? Jensen Ackles. After you've watched them as brothers and be like, you see spinoffs and it's just not the same. It's not as good. Like Diana, there's a beautiful, beautiful car in here. Just wait till you see Baby. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You got to watch it to find out. The car's name is Baby. You my car girl on here. But you learn all kind of things. Like you just have to kind of watch it and see. The storyline is unique. Like, kind of one season flows into another. And they're always on the road. They're hunters. They don't have a home. They kind of live out of the car. They travel town to town looking for oddities and things that don't sound right in the newspapers. And you got to realize it's 2005, so the internet wasn't then what it is now, but it kind of gets there later on in shows. But if you've watched the show, you know what a turducken is, and you know what them monsters right there is. Well, where did Leviathan go? Right there. That funky looking monster on the right, Leviathan. They're feeding the population this food called turduckens to make them fat and lazy at these like restaurants. And everybody becomes addicted to the food because it tastes so good they can't stop eating it. Is Shannon here? No, that's just me. Dang, I thought she was in here. They can't stop eating the food, so they all turn in to these fat, lazy goyim that are easier to catch and eat. We'll just say it like that. So if you take everything and you overlay it on some other things, a whole lot of it sounds similar. And there are creatures in here which are demons, and as you can see, she has black eyes. This show has black goo in it. This show has all kinds of stuff in it. It's an extremely interesting show to watch if your eyes are open to the world around you. And like I was saying about how we have to be the ones to preserve the documents of now so that future generations will know history. Somebody's got to do it. Even if you don't do anything, but write it down for your kids or grandkids and leave it in a notebook and put it somewhere where it'll be safe. Sounds like cattle, don't it? Yeah, it's exactly what it is. They are literally on this show, and this is later on in the seasons. Like it's this food. It's called a turducken. It's a turkey with a chicken, or turkey with a chicken and a duck, kind of like one stuffed inside the other. It's actually a sandwich, but it's made out of all three meats supposedly. And I can't because I haven't got that far to rewatch it again. But I want to think it was just basically a paste, kind of like a chicken nugget kind of thing. I think. I can't remember. But everybody gets addicted to them. Yeah. See, you done went and gave away that it was an Impala. I told Diana she loved car. Sorry, guys. No drink down here. But yeah, it's a very interesting show. And there's another one that's kind of weird. It's a weird show, and it's very adult. It's not something I would ever have anybody in the room unless their mind was a little open. But it's called American Gods. I've watched it twice now. The first time I watched it, I'm like, this is some weird crap. Before my eyes were open, I watched it and said, this is some weirdness up in here. I'm like, do what? I only watched like the first season because I just found it to be completely abstract and weird, and I don't know. I felt like it was blasphemy at the time, and I was just I wasn't sure where I was on the spiritual table at that time, and I watched it again recently with my eyes open, and I can see, and it shows you about deity worship and like Easter and Mother Nature and how the energy and prayer poured into each one of those deities, how it gave it power and how the power structure worked. And, Buddha and technology, and like as people prayed to them, those things became a deity, they became a god because power was being prayed into them. So we got to be real careful where we're directing our business at. We know where we're directing it. We need to help others direct their energy in the proper places. Why are you putting hearts up, Big E? I love you too. I'm just being silly, y'all. Uh, the Leviathan made the messed up food people were too. Yeah, they did. It was called a turducken. And the restaurant kind of reminded me of like a Shoney's or something like that. It's kind of like a diner kind of, I don't know. But there are all kind of creatures. These are not, see, let me hit browse all. Let's go look at all the creatures. I think Shannon's going to be tied up, so we may have to reschedule this Bury the Truth topic for whenever she's free, which we can do it later tonight if y'all ain't tired of hearing my voice. But see, all of these are they're alphabetical. There's a lot of monsters in this show. Hellhounds, changelings, cherubs, poltergeist. Let's see, the Croatoan virus. I remember that. Crossroads demons, demigods, reapers, rougarous, dreamwalkers, dragons, like elves, fairies, and all these different creatures in here. There's succubus. Look at the traits of the monsters. Is all I'm saying. Like, I got your 6'7", 6'7". Oh, puff, puff, pass. 6'7". Yes, they focused their attention on 6'7". I've often wondered what that was too, Big E. I've heard enough. It has been banned from our home. So have Labubu dolls. No, Boo Boo, you ain't crazy. I actually sent a text message to Willie earlier. Um, and he and I don't get to talk a lot, but like, some of the deeper stuff I need to make sure he knows. Like, he's one of my people that I talk all this, straight jacket talk out with, is what I call it. Because you got to be careful. Sometimes people want to get you one of those. But I'm all good, everybody. I don't like those. I done had one. They don't fit well. They're itchy. But you're not crazy. You can just see. And a lot of us for a long time probably thought some of the things we thought were crazy. You ain't got no idea. The ones of us that were crazy, we're the only ones that are sane. The ones that are walking around in this blind, just just walking along, staring at their cell phone, going to work, come home, cook dinner, do the dishes, go to bed, and do it again. They have no idea of the spiritual warfare that's going on around them, like everywhere around them, right beside them. They have no idea, and the lies have not just been spiritual; they've been scientific, they've been theological, archaeological, architecture. I mean, like the lies. If we would understand, okay, They lied to you in the Bible, and they wanted to make it all they want to make it out to be just some kind of, crazy story, so to speak, that, supernatural things don't really happen, but we're gonna talk about a few of them here, but we're not gonna tell you about all of them. If you knew about those things and you knew about what resets were to civilization, Noah's not the only reset. We've been reset multiple times, and he told you in the beginning he would never flood this earth like he did with Noah. He would never do that again and flood the whole earth. So I think some of these resets, instead of being the whole earth, it was just whatever place or places was acting up. Our Father in heaven took his belt out and whoever was acting up. Uh, oh, um, it, you got Sodom and Gomorrah, you got Babylon, you hear tales like that. But since the Bible became the Bible, see, this is the question, folks. The Bible will be a never ending story. It has been a never ending story. They just decided to end the book at a particular point. The Bible is a collection of historical stories that lead us to our spirituality and our faith in the big man upstairs. The story hasn't ended. The story continues. Somebody's got to write that down because we're coming to the end of the information that we were given in that book. And when we go forward, somebody's got to write that history down for future generations so they don't try to hide these resets from people. Because if everybody knew that if you act up enough and you get stupid enough, that we will be reset. We gonna get the factory reset from our daddy. If they told you that, you wouldn't act up. You wouldn't sin. They wouldn't be able to tempt you. So that's one of the reasons it's erased from history. If you don't know the extreme of the consequences, you will continue to push the boundary. The lies run all the way back to the beginning. It's been about power. And it just, we have to preserve the future, guys. The information for the future, but preserving it from today. I was gonna wait on Shannon to get in here, but I don't think Shannon's gonna make it because I've talked about all I can talk about today without just wearing y'all out. Is there any other subject y'all wanted to hit on before we got going today? I got a shout out to somebody. But I'm looking up something, so I got it on screen. Yeah, I need to give some of you guys blue wrenches. See, and that's another thing, when Shannon and I are running the show, it's hard to, we don't have the YouTube options because we're in a whole different set of software. We got a little red thing by your icon in chat that tells us what platform you're coming from, but we can see all the platforms at once. I do need to go in there and give some of you guys blue wrenches. I don't know why I can look it up this way. My crew just got back in from volleyball. Let's see. I'm trying to find something because I wanted to have the link on screen. Where is it at? Transhumanism. They've been working on that for a minute, and this ain't the first time around. It won't be the last time around either. But every time they start trying to manipulate human DNA, and we go back to like, okay, the original manipulation of transhumanism means anything besides human genetically. If you add anything or take anything from it, you're transitioning it to something else. So you have to think about what old Satan's hemorrhoid was doing in utero. He was trying to take and make um, the babies to have both sexual organs for girls and boys, but to make them smell and behave more like a girl so they didn't have the musky boy odor. No joke. But anything that is not 100% human is transhuman. Now, they have, and they've probably been successful many, many years forward of what we thought. But they've been trying to combine different critters together for a long time and take one critter and turn it into another one. They've been doing it the whole time with the chemicals in your food, the chemicals in your air, and the chemical in your water. Because any alteration of God's creature is transhumanism. Because God made man, our Father. Nobody else is supposed to screw with that. And every time it gets screwed with, I can go back in history and see where mud floods happen, Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah. That's part of what that's about. That's with things mixing with God's creature that was not supposed to. And that takes you back to the mud flood resets and the Cabbage Patch Kids and all of that, which takes you back into the 1776, which was exactly 250 years ago. That started on Monday. Yeah, Sunday. Sunday was the day that the Continental Congress decided we had had enough and we was going to be free. And then the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and wars and all of that broke out and started yesterday, to Sunday, I think it was. That's why for multiple days now, there's been preachers and prayer all over everywhere. Trump got on and read prayers and talked about Solomon, which I want to go back and watch and have a conversation with Clayton on that one. But, like, you know, a season in that book is 1,000 years. A little season would be a quarter, which would be 250 years. So if Satan had a little season, it would have been approximately 250 years. Just saying. That's some of that out loud math I be doing that I'm contemplating on. And I don't think we are in the book where everybody thinks we're at in the book. But anyway, I was supposed to be giving a shout out. Um, Mike Lindell, Grassroots Warrior Network, wants you to reach out. Not my Mike, Mike Lindell. My pillow. You know who you are. Running for governor, sir. Grassroots Warrior Network wants you to reach out to them, please. I was asked to forward that message on. If you're out there listening, give them a shout. They have a YouTube channel. Mythology shows creatures combined. Mike, you are correct. When you go into and I done this by civil, and look, there's Shannon. She's here. I done this. I went and looked like different uh different areas of the world and what their lore was of the monsters. Was it a blue goblin with 8 arms? You know, what was it? What was their historical lore of their monsters? Oh, and Shannon's gone again. So if you look at their monsters, and did you turn yourself off, Shannon?
Uh-uh.
No. Okay,
And
I'll
my toggle is on. Can you hear me?
hear you now.
That's weird.
Um, but if you go back at each like regional and look at the monsters, then you go compare that to ancient art and artifacts, and then you compare it to descriptions of things in the Bible, you will see which deity was there and was trying to gain power. Whether it be the critter on Star Sluts or all these other ones. All those monsters on cartographers' maps from thousands of years ago. They didn't know each other. They ain't had no cell phone. They ain't say, "Oh, homie, I'm over here in the Strait of Hormuz. Did you see that star slut?" Just saying. No, they ain't had that. But yet you got people that never knew each other that draw the same monsters at the same place on comparable maps. Like, come on now. How stupid they think we is. We've evidently been stupid for a while, but like we waking up now.
Oh, that's Mike. I was like, what is this thing in the corner? It's
Oh my goodness. It done went slam jam over your head. Well, see, I have talked to these people for an hour and a half. Um, so we didn't, and I told them we were going to talk about the bury the truth
mm-hmm.
subject, but we were going to
Yay!
hold it. We're going to hold it because we don't have another 2 hours in them. They'll probably run off on us. They've listened to me ramble and chase
Well,
squirrels for an
you
hour and a
can
half.
introduce it, right? At
I
least,
brought it up, but
yeah,
and I told them that we were concerned about the current information of today being preserved for future
yeah,
generations.
exactly. And I there we're gonna get a list of, you know, a few different type of containers you can put it in that
Oh,
will.
I've given them no details, just
Yeah.
general topic.
Oh, okay. General topic. Well, anyways, yeah, it's time to bury the truth, guys, for future generations. This is gonna be fun. This is a fun one.
Yeah, we're gonna so everybody be getting your ideas together for containers because we want to put some of this stuff in writing and protect it and put it in a container, and we want to make some capsules, dudes. Are y'all up with us on that? Who's in? Even if it's even if it's not much, even if it's a small box, just leave it somewhere. Somebody, someday, somewhere will run across it and open it. Even if you don't want to write truth down, write words of encouragement. Write your story down. Write your testimony down. Whatever you want to write down that you think somebody in the future could benefit from.
I also wanted to bring this up real quick because I know you haven't put in any details, but I don't see why we can't do land and sea.
We could.
You know, message in a bottle. Yeah.
Um, we we could actually look at the idea that everybody could contribute and you wouldn't have to mail anything. If you have a piece of information that you want to contribute, you could email it to Shannon or I. We can print it, and maybe we just do two time capsules, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. And all of our viewers email
Central.
in whatever.
We got to get a central too.
We'll
We
get
got to
Lisa to bury
somewhere.
one.
Yeah.
And we'll put some time capsules around, and we'll take the same information contributed by everybody and us, and we'll, you know, duplicate it and put it in three different locations. And we'll do a show on it, maybe while we bury it, and what all we're putting in it. So let's see. I think we have. See, this whole idea Shannon and I started yesterday, and this is, yeah, it's so much better. It gets better every day as we think about it. I think I have our email addresses in here somewhere. Dun dun dun. Dun.
A big thing that it's like I know we have all of these lovely archived videos and all of those things, but you know, when you think about what's coming and how all of those things can be very easily changed, it's really important to have some physical evidence of of reality to where, you know, it can't be infiltrated. So
And I think we need to. I think Shannon, we need to. Uh, and I'll try to do it tomorrow. I'll put it on my list. We need to make a joint email for the
yeah,
show
that would be
so
good.
that both of us can see it and read it. And if you guys need to get a hold of us or whatever, which we have Discord. So if you need us, just go over to Discord. But some people don't do Discord, they do email. I just
Yeah,
want to make sure everybody can get a hold of us.
I would totally like to do that. A together email, considering nobody actually uses my children of the most high email. That's
That's a lot of email,
great.
girl.
So I know
That's a lot of email.
okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's
I'm not
okay.
good at checking email anyway.
Well, is there? Would you like to discuss? We talked about the Supernatural TV show,
I'm
and
listening.
that's right. So, anything you want to add on that?
I'm gonna save more of the talk on supernatural a little bit because I have I have some things I wanted to discuss about it, but I kind of want to get to a certain point before I start running my mouth because
Okay.
it could possibly be answered in some other things. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I will say this: the only real thing that you got to remember when watching the X-Files, Supernatural, any of these shows that are disclosing a lot of things is the end message. Is it about Jesus? You know, and what means are they battling in the spiritual, and like in what ways are they battling these spiritual strongholds, these demons, these things. And just take everything with a grain of salt. There's so much truth in these series,
Yeah, you don't have to take them literally. Just use
but
them as a tourist guide.
as a guide.
Yeah, use them as your tourist guide.
And just know deep down inside that you know the truth, that no matter what, we don't need sigil magic
No,
to, to beat demons because we got Jesus. And so
ain't it?
that's like
And a switchblade to play
right.
in.
My only like little disclosure, other than that, it's a very fascinating show because it really does go into a lot of truth behind these actual beings because these are real beings that they're modeled after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these
So,
people ain't brilliant. They just don't have endless ideas. They
right.
just got access to information that we don't. They're
So,
they're further along in the book than we are.
but just know this, like when it comes down to it, the we the only person who can, or the only being that can do anything about the apocalypse is Jesus Christ, or our Father in heaven. You know what I mean? It's about getting right with God, battling your demons, getting souls, winning over souls for the kingdom of God.
And you cannot repent in a bucket.
No.
No, you got to pick it out. You got to call it out. You can't say, "Please, Father, forgive me of my sin." Well, what was your sin? Have you out loud taken personal accountability for the harm that you caused, the wrong that you did, the sin that you had? Call it out. Say it out loud. Don't just say, "Please forgive me," because then you haven't even acknowledged what you really done. So
Right.
until you acknowledge it out loud to yourself and to our Father in heaven, you have not repented of your sin.
I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I hear of so many of us going through a lot of intense things right now,
An emotional roller coaster?
emotional roller coaster, and a lot of it is dealing with facing our past. But why? There's a lesson in it that God is trying to show you. He's trying to help you to remember the things that you may still hold on to without realizing it. And sometimes you just got to face those things and understand what lessons it is that God is showing you, or our Father in heaven is showing you in facing these things. And sometimes it's repentance, sometimes it's to help you understand how you were able to get on the narrow path because of past mistakes, or you know something in that information that'll help you battle in the spiritual now. Just pay attention to it, and it's okay to be emotional and to let it out, because if you don't, it's going to end up resurfacing in a way you don't want. So work it out with God. And if you're on that path, like a lot of us are right now, of facing those things, don't be scared to face your past. Give yourself some leeway, but also take accountability and move on. Figure out what it is you need to learn and move on and use that towards your narrow path walk.
The lesson and the blessing. Every lesson is a blessing because out of the lesson you gained wisdom, knowledge. You get to write it down on your map now. I've been there and I've done that. The disciples of Jesus, them people, they was prostitutes and drunks and liars and murderers, and like that's because they had been places and done things and had the wisdom to understand the blessing from learning that lesson.
Right. You know, you don't realize sometimes, but when you go through things with a group of people when you're in your youth, and some of you guys move on and forward and some don't, they get stuck in their past, there's no way to be able to relate to those people unless you have been there in some way and can give them that hope that, hey, I was there. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
humble.
A understanding, like in an empathetic way, in a way where you can actually relate to. That's why your testimony is so important, because everybody's testimony is different, but it can relate to somebody who's going through something very similar. You know what I mean? Because we
Hmm.
all are struggling through our downfalls, through our sins, through the things that we fight within our flesh every day. And so, like, I can't go up to a tatted up gangster from, the assassin crew, the MI, whatever it's called, and be like, yo, homie, like, I got you. So, but I sure can go up to that little goth kid and be like, hey, you were
I
lying
get you.
about Jesus, you know, stuff like that. But there are those gangster homies who were like, yeah, I lived that life. I got you. you
Hmm.
know? So that's what I'm saying. We all have a little piece to help someone else in their journey because of what we went through. We had to go through all of this
Yep. You
to
can't
relate.
enjoy the view of the top of the mountain until you've been down in the valley and understood how cold it was down there with no sunshine when you were on the bottom. And even though the air is colder at the top of the mountain, you got sunshine on your face and things are looking up and it gets prettier and prettier the higher you climb. So keep climbing. Keep climbing. But don't forget to look back and look down for those behind you that are still reaching up that need a steady hand to help them stable their way on the way to the narrow door we're headed to. Because we at the point you gonna have to get in or get left. The bus is headed for the cliff. Please be aware. You need to be in prayer so you can get your seatbelt undone. Because if not, if you don't get off this bus, it's gonna look like Wile E. Coyote when it goes over. Just saying. She's got it muted. She's hollering at somebody.
It's my client and friend, actually.
Yes.
I've known her forever. You want to say hi? She's got purple stuff in her hair. Don't mind her. This is Destiny.
Hello.
Hi, Destiny.
I'm crazy right now. Hi, everybody. I was keeping her from you.
Yeah, she's brilliant, by the way. I'm
Well,
gonna get her
you're
on.
mid hairdo, and this has been an hour and 45, and I have cotton mouth because I didn't bring a drink in, and I can't find my vape, so I need to go puff, puff, pass because everybody in here been puff, puff, passing through the crowd, and it like skipped me because I
This
don't have
is
my
just
vape.
good old nicotine right here. Nothing fancy, but yeah,
I'm gonna go get some nicotine and some
good old
THC.
The best combo.
She's giving ambiance.
I'm vaping into the camera.
But we
She's
love
giving us
you guys.
mood smoke.
Right? Ooh.
Oh, Mike's in here. I forgot to tell you, Mike's with us. Mike
Hi,
Smith.
Mike. We miss you. We miss you.
We love you.
You.
And would everybody please, Mike has a person in his life who needs lots of prayer requests
Yes.
for healing and uplifting. And please include Mike and his family in that prayer. I hope that wasn't too much, Mike. Puff, puff, pass, Diana. Yes, ma'am. I'm fixing to go outside and take my turn. But everybody pray for each other. Pray for your Roxy and Shannon. I don't know. I guess we'll call it the Roxy and Shannon family on here. But
We'll figure something fun.
us people.
That.
Yeah.
Us
Us
people.
people.
The
Us people.
feral crowd.
Yeah, the feral Christians. What is that girl's name? I have to find her. She actually does a feral Christian thing every night where they read the Bible on her TikTok page. She's a comedian.
I love it.
But we're feral Christians.
We're from a wild, yo.
We got knives, tattoos, and cupcakes, and a bong. We would be really cool to hang out with in the woods, though. Like we got weapons, we got food, and we got weed.
Cake. It's okay. I have a cake problem, we know, but
yeah,
cake. If you really wanted to send me something.
Shannon loves cake.
I will accept.
She's a cake addict. Listen, there are far worse things you could be addicted to.
I have a problem. It's okay.
All right, guys, we're out of here. We will see you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this same subject, but we'll get deeper.
That's
and probably 12 of the
I'll be
squirrel
there.
pass.
I'll actually be there.